Hello, y'all. Again, we'll be right back after this little quick video break coming up to you. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Frillin Arts subprime hero. And boy, we got a lot of great news to share today. I just traveled halfway across the country to come here to sit down and do this amazing interview. I've been excited about it ever since I heard I had the opportunity to do this, because I have three of some of my favorite people in the whole world, two sisters that I definitely love watching grow and watching them grow together, and the way that they shared each other and the way that they did things that were just amazing. You don't see that in this automotive industry. And we've seen some amazing things here. The culture here at the store is phenomenal. And I'm excited to talk about that culture. I'm excited to talk about the amazing things that Erica is getting ready to go through, the amazing things that stressful, but amazing things that Ashley's going through. You know, it's when you're trying to find the next person to sit in a seat that somebody like Erica's been sitting in, it's very stressful because there's a high standard now set, and there's going to be people out here that are going to want that. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we're looking for and the things that we're going to try to do. But most importantly, we're going to say that we love you and we appreciate everything that you're doing, not just for this dealership, because you've done some amazing things, but the way that you are a sunshine of bright light in this automotive industry that's super dark, right? Super just like negative, and people always try to find the negative things about it, but yet you talk about how you could be better. You talk about coming from nothing and becoming something, right? And that's what this dealership's doing. This dealership talks about that. This dealership has a culture of bringing people in like that from anywhere. If you have talent, they want you, right? And I love that. So that being said, we also have Ryan over here, folks. Yay! We got Ryan there. He's the supportive shoulder for both these ladies, because this is going to be semi-emotional because it's a beautiful thing. When you're happy for people, love, your heart explodes. So, you know, let's talk about it. Let's get it moving. I'm going to introduce y'all. This is Ashley Church. I'm sure y'all have seen her around 40 under 40, right? We've seen those things, very awesome things. We have Ryan there. Ryan, folks, watch out for him. When I say 40 under 40, I've almost got a table that's super heavy over there. I'm too old. I'll never get it, but they're working on it. But we also have Erica Wells. We all know who she is. She's a phenomenal speaker, somebody that we all look up to, and watching her do her thing right now. So we're pumped up about that. Let's talk about some stuff. So there is a shift happening right now, right? So what's the shift that you see changing right now at the dealership?
Oh, I guess you're going to let me drop the heavy.
I'm going to let you start. Yeah, I'm going to let you do it.
But no, we're so excited for Erica. She's accepted a position with another organization in Minnesota, and we are so happy for her to see her growth. And, you know, everybody always asked how I got Erica to move to Southern Illinois. First off, it was a long process. But second, you know, Erica and I, you know, we really bonded over, you know, a shared love of the automotive industry. And, you know, we spent a lot of time talking about what her future goals and ambitions were.
Right.
And I wanted her to be a part of this team, but I knew, you know, that she has a goal to own her own dealership someday. So I knew eventually that path would take her outside of our organization. With that said, I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit longer than a year. I'm not going to lie. But we are so excited for her. And with that said, we're also launching a search for our next sales and training manager in the store here at Volkswagen of Marion.
That's right.
We want to wish Erica well. We want to talk a little bit about the position today, about the store, and see if there's any of our viewers out there who, I mean, they're big shoes to fill. But,
they are big shoes, and they're important shoes, because a position like that, when you're a leader, it's a big deal. A lot of people don't take it the right way. And one thing's for sure, this dealership is about that. When you get into a leadership position, there's responsibilities and there's accountability. And that's something that I know that you've been able to do. Speak on that. You know, I know that we'll talk about change and stuff with you in a moment, but I want to talk about the dealership for a moment, because I know that's something that in your heart you want to talk about. So let's talk about what it is about accountability and being there for people. What does that bring to a dealership like this, or any dealership? What does that do for leadership when you have that there?
Well, the good news is that the store is doing amazing things, was doing amazing things before I got here. One of the things that I first told the sales team when I got here was that the store is not broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's different trying to come to a store that you feel is broken and feeling like there's a weight on your shoulders to fix something. Nothing needed to be fixed. It was just adding on to what was already going. One of the benefits that I had was having someone like Ryan. I mean, he's sitting in the middle of us, but when I say Ryan was the glue that kept us together,
he is.
Me and Ryan were like yin and yang. You know, he's process, I was people, and together it worked perfectly. I could lean on him about anything going on with the store. He knew it. He thinks just like Ashley. Well, he knows how she thinks.
There you
People
go.
like that. He knows how she thinks.
Sure.
So he's able to, when I have a question, he's already able to answer it. And even the times I had to verify, it was 99.9% correct. I was like,
He's
dang.
next door laughing.
He is, you know.
Ryan said it was going to end up this way, but I came into a welcome environment where the team was very accepting from the beginning. They said, hey, listen, whatever you need from me. Ryan has just been like a huge part of just making sure that what we had worked, and that our dynamics together just kind of gelled really well. And then of course, Jay. So we were like the three musketeers.
Yeah, you
know?
were.
And it just made things so easy to come to a team that you didn't feel like the weight was on you. I mean, these guys were carrying the store long before. And that just kind of made it gel really well, and it made us work as a great team. And if I was going to miss anything, that's it. It's the family environment. It's being able to have real friends that you care about, and people who are on your team who are about getting it done and who aren't afraid of work. Like, come
absolutely.
in, they're here before you get here.
Yeah.
You're not going to outwork them. They're here when it's time to leave.
I know, right?
They're checking on you. They're not the first manager out. Like, oh, you got this. It's like, I mean, I had to push him out the door sometimes. Like, Ryan, I got it. Go ahead. He's like, I just want to make sure you're good. I'll lock up whatever you need from me. I'll stay here till the last deal. Want to make sure this goes through. If you need anything on the trade, like, that's the kind of team that you want. And anybody who's even considering coming into this environment, you know you're going to get that. Every promise that Ashley made was delivered on. Whatever she said this store was, it was what she said it was going to be. And a lot of times when you deal with dealerships and you look at opportunities, they don't deliver on those promises. And it's not like what you think it's going to be when you get there. And you show up and you're like, this is not what I said. And when you're coming 652 miles, you know,
a little bit colder weather. Speaking of that,
to get here, you want to make sure that you're walking into something that is going to be a good fit, and that the person, whatever they said it was going to be, is what it was. And that's what I definitely had here.
You know, that's one thing that's for sure. I know Ashley has tons of integrity, and that's something that she leans into and she pours into her staff, because without that, you have nothing. Trust is a big factor, and to have trust is phenomenal. And I love what you talked about. Everything you just said was about trust. You had a team that you could step in and not really fluster anything. They welcomed you in, and they wanted to hear your ideas. One thing here in this culture, they talk about diversity and different ideas, not just in skin color and sex. It's also your ideas, how you look at things, how you perceive things. And they encourage that. They encourage it all the way from the sales department to cleanup. They want people to be able to speak up and do things. And your staff, you have a lot of people that have been here for a while. Even your younger staff, they stay. They don't want to go anywhere. They know that this is the best place to work for, right? Stressing that, just we'll come back to that in a minute. But you know, but it's important, Bobby, love you. But but you know, there's a lot of things that are going on in other dealerships that are not like that, you know, and I know you know that. You've been to places. There's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of like not trying to encourage you to do things. Matter of fact, if you talk about going and taking a position, they're going to look at you like you're a traitor, right? And that's totally not the case here. The case here is love, encouragement, and happiness. They want you to be all you can be. They want you to go and do all the things you can go. I worked at a dealership, and I worked there for a long time, and the opportunities that were available to me were good, you know, but I saw a lot of amazing things. You know, you got to go out and speak out of a lot of amazing events, talk about your culture, talk about your thoughts and your ideas. And boy, that voice is loud. I can say, and I mean that in the most amazing, beautiful way. I absolutely was struck by you the first time I ever seen you speak. And I think it's great that you're going the places that you're going. You deserve that. And yes, you will be an owner one day. And I know that, right? I think we all know that in this room. There's no doubt. You just got to keep working and doing your thing. And we're proud of you. And we're all cheering you on. There's people all over the place. And I know, I'm talking about, that are cheering you on. So keep doing what you're doing. You know, I got to get to you, Ryan. Brian, brother, I know you've been there. You being patient and listening, you know, working with two amazing, powerful women, being in the middle, being the glue for all that stuff. Working at a place like this, you know, I know that whoever replaces that seat is going to be important to you too. Sure. That's going to, like she said, you guys are like yin and yang, and you need to have that mesh that works well. What are you looking for in somebody that comes here? What is the ideal person candidate in your eyes?
Well, she's actually sitting to my left.
But it's so true, though.
But no, what she was able to bring. Like she said, the different perspective, everything. She said the best. That's so hard to follow because she nailed everything.
Yeah.
She taught me so much to look at things so much different. But there's another Erica, please. I'll take that.
Can we clone Erica? I think everybody across America wants that to happen, right? You know, and you know, working for somebody, and you've been here. How long you been with the company now?
7, almost 8 years.
7, almost 8 years, and you know, you've been doing different things from finance to sales to inventory management to all those things. You've hit almost every little spot. So the opportunities here are phenomenal if you put the work in and you show it. And that goes to talk about, you know, having a general manager, a leader like Ashley. You know, what is it like to work here for Ashley? You know, what has it been like to be here and enjoy the fruits that she's able to give you here?
So the biggest thing I could say, it doesn't give you that clock in, clock out feeling. You know, when you come in, you come to work, you feel like you accomplished something. And on top of that, like you just said, she gives you the tools to help grow.
Yes.
So I started in sales, went to finance, went to sales management, did the inventory thing. And I don't feel like I've hit the ceiling necessarily.
No.
So that's the biggest thing I've seen and she's given me all the tools along the way to do it.
Absolutely. You know, and you have earned all that though. It's not like she gave them to you.
No.
You've earned all those things. And because one thing I know about Ashley, just from having the conversations you and I have talked and everyone else, is that Ashley, when she plans things out, she literally plans things out. Right. But I love that because I love transparency. I love clarity. And that's how true growth is. That's how you run a business. And one thing that we learn here, and as a general manager, is you have to be a business owner, runner. You have to know what it's about, take ownership of it. And each one of you two have that type of characteristic. I think that's why you're going to go far. And I know that's why you've been growing as much as you have and getting the recognitions that you're going to be coming very soon to him. I promise you, because he deserves them. But even if those don't happen, I recognize you and I know how amazing you are. I know how hard you work, man. And everybody in this whole dealership knows how hard you work.
I want to add some stuff.
Absolutely. Bring it.
Ryan is an exceptional work partner. He's the amazing used car guy, like knows his inventory, brings stuff to me all the time. He's consistently keeping me in the news about what's going on, what's hitting up with the graphs. He's like, hey, you want to check out this article? You want to know what's going on in the market? I mean, he takes his job really serious. And that to me is what helped grow me, because I wasn't comfortable doing appraisals when I first got here. That wasn't an area that I was strong at. At my previous dealership, the used car manager was very possessive of it. Like, so I take appraisals, those are my numbers. That's not something you could kind of have an idea of a trade, but they were going to look at it. He comes in, he's showing me how to look at MMR. He's showing me how to look at the auction values and the dates. I mean, so many things that were so much more, you know, intrinsic and really giving me the details. And a lot of people are always afraid to impart their knowledge on someone because it's a threat. If I bring you up to speed, then that somehow challenges my job. And Ryan was never like that. He's like, the more you know, then the better we look at things together. You know, did you miss something on a trade? Hey, I want to go out here and show you something. Or, hey, look, you hit this little high. Like, and that's comforting, because I said, that's how I grow. I love that. I need this energy from someone who will challenge my thought. And I had a lot of ideas, because I'm very like big idea. You have ideas? And Ryan would like challenge the idea too. He's like, okay, well, what is this going to look like in 3 days? Can we keep the process going? Is this something that we can implement with the team and that's going to stay consistent? Are you going to follow up on what you implement? And like, you know, and challenging those thoughts. And there were times that I'd be completely wrong about a situation. I'd come in like, we're not buying enough wholesale cars because all of them are retail. And I think we need to change the bonus structure. And he'd say, or maybe we're just keeping more. Maybe we're just keeping more retail units than we ever have. Maybe the market's just changing, or maybe the process isn't broken at all. And I'm like, dang, you're right. I didn't even think about it like that. So you need people who are in your group who are willing to tell you no, who are willing to challenge your ideas, who are willing to make you think about things. Because no one wants to work for a yes person. Where every time you say something like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, let's run with it. Yeah, sure, whatever you say. Because you get this false sense of bravado that, well, everything's great, and that these in the conditions that you're working in aren't real, because the person does not want to be honest with you. And then they go behind your back and be like, that was terrible. It's going to fail. I try to tell her.
The rest of the team.
Versus coming out and saying,
great point.
Let me challenge these thoughts together. And then we're able to refine the process. And by the time we rolled it out to the team, it wasn't lopsided. It wasn't all me. It wasn't all him. It was a great combination of both of our ideas together. And then it was successful because we were both bought in on it.
Right.
And that's just something you can't find.
And they didn't know it before they met, but I obviously had conversations with both of them, and I'm like, this pairing is by design, right? You know, to Erica and Ryan's point, the strengths, the weaknesses, or maybe not even the word weaknesses, but the opportunities and the areas that we have to grow. I can tell you that this will not be a short process to find someone. While I'm hopeful that we're going to find someone quickly, we are going to make sure that the person that we bring on is the right fit for our team, not only for the dealership, but also because the rest of our amazing team, that's what they deserve.
They do. And you do. You have an amazing staff. The very first time I ever came here with Lou, we got to sit down and talk to a lot of them. And man, they absolutely love working here. I don't think there's a person that ever said that they don't. And it's not because that they feel like they had to be forced to. Trust me, I've had plenty of conversations with all these, even after the fact, right? Every time I come here, I love sitting down with your staff because they're bright. They're excited. I mean, I'm not going to call names out, but we just saw somebody crying in here just of joy. of opportunity because of what this career has provided for that person. Wow. And that's what these leaders have been able to do. That's why we are leaders. And that's the kind of things that we want to see happen. We want to see people buy their first house, buy their car, do things for the first time because of this job, because we showed them a process. We taught them accountability. We showed them that they can be more than they were yesterday.
And our team is unique. You know, our sales team, both leadership and our sales floor, and our technicians, for that matter, are 100% millennial and Gen Z. So we really have a different way of thinking about things, a different way of approaching things. And it's so awesome to be able to be a part of everyone's personal growth. You know, when you see on their goal sheets that they want to move out of mom and dad's house. I mean, I can't tell you, not only do we celebrate when they buy the first house, here at Volkswagen of Marion, we're celebrating when they move out of mom and dad's basement.
That's right. That is a big step. A lot of people need to get on that step. If you're in the basement, come on.
So we are looking for
get in the business. We'll get
a sales manager who can help us move those kids out of the basement onto the next phase of their career, whether it's buying houses, furniture, going on vacations, you know, all the things that they want to accomplish for themselves.
Absolutely. You know, and the thing is, there's more than just culture here. There's also benefits. You know, let's get into the benefits. You know, when there's the paternal leave and maternal leave, that's stuff you don't really hear that you hear other places, but you have that here. Yeah. Let's talk about some of those things. What other benefits do you have here at this dealership that are semi-unique in automotive?
Right. So first and foremost, we close at 6 o'clock during the week.
What?
Right?
What?
So our late nights are 7:30.
That's working that last minute deal. Yeah.
You know, we give an extra day off in the month of your birthday to be able to celebrate your birthday. We have 6 weeks of maternity leave, 2 weeks of paternity leave. We also have adoption leave, all kinds of stuff like that in terms of personal development. Amazing. We really work with each one of our employees to understand what their goals are. And we really look at how we can design a program for them that really can help them achieve all those goals, whether it's in compensation or bonus structures. You know, some people value time off more than they value money. Do. I mean, one of the really unique things about our sales team makeup is not all of them are 100% money motivated. So that's been a unique challenge. You know, someone like me and Ryan and, you know, Erica, that we've come up in this business where everything is about the gross on every deal and, you know, that big commission, and to figure out how to have these really valuable members of our team who come to you and say, I want to be more than a number. I want to be more than the place on the board. I want to be more than a dollar sign to you. And when they can come to you and say, you make me feel like I have more value than just money here, it's really amazing. And, you know, my husband just called me today before we were doing this podcast, and he normally goes to the auto parts store here in town. They didn't have a part he needed, so he had to go to the neighboring town to pick something up. And they said, hey, you still work over at Volkswagen, don't you? And he said, yeah, I do. And the other guy behind the counter says, lucky dog. And he said, what do you mean, lucky dog? And he said, well, I mean, I hear that that's the best place to work in the area. So, you know, we definitely have a reputation for treating our employees right, for growing them. You know, it's a testament that we were able to get someone who is a powerhouse like Erica to move from a metro market here. Like I said, we always wish it could be longer,
I think there's a lot of people that were like, I wish I could have got her, right? I know that for sure. So I know that you wish you had her for longer than a year, but a year is, you know, at least you had her for a year. At least your staff got to have a little piece of Erica, you know, and it's amazing.
They say they had me, but I felt sorry. I had them. I mean, it was an opportunity, and the reasons why I came here is because it was a place where I was closed on Sunday, you know, to be able to have time with my family. The benefits that I got over the last year are just as great, just because I got to see my kids more. I got to have Joy here at the office. You know, I got to go to Aaron's games, and I didn't miss a football game. You know what I mean? That's something that Aaron wasn't even able to do sports prior to. I didn't miss a football game. I didn't allow him to, because I'm like, I can't commit to you that I can get you there on time, that I can commit to that type of schedule. To be able to do that this time around, and his freshman year, and to support his track, his wrestling, and football.
That's right. He was
a big deal.
And I think a really core difference here is, you know, that not only is it a benefit to us, like, hey, we want to attract the best staff possible, so we've got to have really great benefits, but a true believing that when our employees are the best version of themselves and when they can bring the best version of themselves to work, we all win. Whenever somebody doesn't
Yes.
have childcare because the
Yes.
daycare closes early and they don't have to have the stress of that they've got to get out of here,
Yep.
or somebody in the family is going to be
That's
disappointed,
right.
being able to say Joy can come to work. And, you know, she's been gone, out in California visiting her grandpa. She's been on a world tour, Joy has. She
I've seen
ran
the
back into the
pictures.
dealership today. I can tell you that everyone was fighting over who got to,
Oh, I bet.
hold Joy.
She's
and,
adorable.
pack her around.
Oh.
She's with Grandma Lori today, so they're
Oh.
having a nice outing. But
Oh, that's awesome.
I joke around here like we do nap time. We have like cots, we've got cartoons here in the conference room,
It's cute.
and
I love it.
we've talked about this over and over, whether it's at Women in Automotive, but this is so much bigger than a conversation about women in automotive. This is a conversation about making automotive a place where people can have a
Yes.
life
Oh,
outside
yeah.
of work and inside the dealership. And when we can do that, we can attract and we can retain the best quality talent.
That's the biggest thing. It's the retaining. One thing that I love and just pay attention to what's happening here is that Erica's not leaving for a lateral move. Just so you guys know, she is stepping up in the world and she's taking a step up to where she can be more. And that opportunity is something that a lot of us have to take. And I'm so excited for you. And I think that if you didn't, you'd be crazy, right? I think that you are at a great place, but it is a great place, right? You were part of this culture and you always will be part of this culture. There's a stone in this wall that always have your name on it and it'll never be forgotten.
She's got a whole stack of stuff that she's going to be leaving for the next candidate.
You're going to be set up.
You know that Ashley comes prepared in what to expect from Southern Illinois,
Oh,
where
man.
the best restaurants are, where the hub is. I mean, like, she's very thorough. That's one thing that you can benefit here is that there's processes in place that she has an outline. When I started, I had an office, a desk, cards, name tag, my room was ready. I had all my logins, every password. Imagine onboarding. And for people who've done onboarding anywhere, you typically come in and
It's a
nothing's
nightmare.
ready for you.
Yeah.
You spend the first 2 weeks chasing your tail because you're asking for logins and passwords. They don't have a phone that works. You don't have an extension. This place was prepared, and
Yes.
that made you feel so much welcoming because I could come in from day one and we were selling cars on day 2. And I was able to have the tutelage of a team that was like, let's go. Here, I'm going to plug you in. Here's what you need to know. Here's what you need to learn. How do we get you up to speed? Which means that after the first 30 days, we were on fire. We were all rolling together. It was cohesive. We had a break-in session of throwing axes.
We did bonding. We've done
come
some
on
really
now.
cool things. We went axe throwing together. We had National
Bowling?
Leave Work Early Day where
I-
we shut both our
National
Honda and
Leave Work
VW
Early Day.
stores down. And
Tell me a dealership
we
that
went
did that.
bowling, paintball, all kinds of fun stuff. We've got
big old celebration,
Food truck
fireworks at
Fridays
the lake.
coming up. We've got night at the racetrack coming up.
So much.
we really-
And all those types of things. It's everything that you want when you talk about its own culture where they celebrate the team, they celebrate the wins, they celebrate your family. So they also help you. If you're looking to make this move and if you're the right candidate, they'll help you relocate. They'll make sure that they
If you need
find
a
ways to get
house,
you here.
I
Yes.
feel like I need to get a realtor's license. Daycares,
Probably
we can help
should.
with that.
They know, but she is prepared to help people. And she's not just looking for a sales manager to replace a sales manager. They're looking at pretty much anybody out there that can handle a CRM, but has leadership skills. It's about the skill set. It's about that. So we're going to be looking into a very diverse talent pool to make sure that we find the right candidate. It may be somebody that works in a BDC. Who knows, right? You never know. If you know that you're somebody that's looking for that next step, like Erica did, right? Like Ryan did so many times at this dealership and found ways to be able to step up to the next level. There's no doubt Ashley has, right? And when you want that, this is a great place for that. So reach out. Don't be afraid to apply. I can tell you, we got a website that's going to be up on Monday. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to pop it up for you guys so you can see it. I want you guys to check this out. On Monday, this is going to go live. It's the 29th. It's stressing, make sure you put the at the beginning, thebestdealershiptoworkfor.com. Make sure you guys check that. I'm gonna leave this up here while we're talking some more. But I know we went around, we did a round robin about who we kind of wanted to replace, but I didn't ask you. Who would you like to see come in here and be the next Erica? I know it's impossible. But what would you like to see your team receive? Who would you like to see your team be led by?
I call it the nice nasty, right? That's kind of how I look at it, right? You gotta be nice. right?
Yes.
You want to have someone who's going to be warm and welcoming to the team, but you got to be a little nasty too. You got to be able to be. I do tough love.
Yes, you do.
My team, if you say the word spank, spank, they know. And I know we're being silly, but seriously, they know like I'm going to be tough on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may come off a little intimidating because I'm like, listen, I expect a lot out of our team, but that's just how the dynamic works to get the best out of people.
Yeah.
You know, a real people person who understands that developing a team is more than just looking at their metrics and just looking at their numbers. It's finding out who they are, what their skills and talents are. And our team is talented in different ways.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to look at each individual person and understand like what is their metric of how far and where they want to go. Not everybody wants to be a manager.
No.
Not everybody's goal is to come
No.
out of sales. Not
Absolutely.
everybody's goal is to be the top salesperson. You know, so
Yeah.
if you understand that their personalities are different and what motivates them, we were able to do our ask why and ask each salesperson, what are the top 5 things that you want this job to do for you? And if you understand what motivates your team, when you're pushing them with that pencil out for another deal, you might say, remember, this is how you're going to get out of your mom's basement. Or you're saying, hey, you want to,
So true.
This one salesperson wants his mom to own her own restaurant. Hey, this is for that down payment to your mom's
Yes.
restaurant. Or
Yep.
this is to redo your basement. I mean, everybody has a different why. And when you understand your team and you take the time to know them for who they are as a person,
Mhm.
then you're able to get the best out of them. So finding a candidate who understands people, but also understands process, because Ashley is very process driven and they're going to be asking about those tasks and that CRM and taking
Oh, yeah.
the weight, because Ryan has a lot on his plate.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
he's doing used cars, he's doing dealer trades, he's doing new cars, he's doing inventory, he's doing backup finance. So you need someone who can complement that, who understands that workload, can help take some of the burden
That's
off,
it.
but also help manage the team, because managing a team of salespeople with all their nuances, especially a team that's as green as ours,
Mhm.
is a lot of work.
Amen. It is.
And we've put a lot of work to get them where they are, and we want that momentum to continue because they are on
Absolutely.
path to do some great things with people who 3 of them which have never sold cars before in their life before they came here.
And man, are they doing great. It's so fun to
Erica is
watch.
spot on about all of the people development. That's really truly what this role is. We operate with a dual sales manager structure where right now Erica is our sales and training manager. Ryan is our sales and finance manager. So they really share a lot of the sales management duties, but they really have their own accountability areas
Sure.
of where, they work with the team. And again, so we're looking for that yin and that yang.
That's right.
On the technical aspect, like Erica said, we really want someone who, from their head to their toes, believes that the CRM is important, that deals are in the CRM,
That's
and
right.
that we have to work with our teams to be able to better utilize the
Mm.
tools that we have, and to understand that those people don't just end up on our website and submit forms by accident because they were just kicking tires. I mean, that's the reality. But like Erica said, we do have more of a green team. Our structure is different. Our sales reps handle all of our leads. We not only handle purchase leads, but our team is also responsible for acquiring vehicles. One of
Yep.
the really cool things in this store,
That is
and we've
so
got
cool.
an automotive news best feature coming that Ryan and I just did an
That's
interview for.
right. That's what I'm
Um,
saying. Be watching out. I'm
But
telling
this
you.
year, our used vehicles, if we look at our used vehicle sales, 52% of those vehicles have come from direct from customer acquisitions or the trades off of those units. So we really have a different philosophy, a different selling style. We love hiring sales reps
Absolutely.
from outside the business. So it is so important that in this role, we have someone who can really, truly develop a team, and to Erica's point, help them with all those people things and skills. And you were talking about it earlier. You do not have to have a previous sales manager title to apply for this position, but it is critical that you have retail automotive experience and that you have experience building and leading a team. So if you're a BDC manager out there, if you're running internet sales teams and you've been thinking, man,
That's
I
right.
really would love to have that step up to working the desk, things Erica and I talked about, that she had experience in all these areas, but to be able to do it on a daily basis, I think, she would say one thing that's unique about a smaller store is you really have the opportunity to get in so many different areas, whether that's some days you're submitting deals in dealer track,
That's
other
right.
days you're appraising trades, other days she's out there doing appraisals and buying cars, direct from customer acquisitions. So we really have a team where we want everybody to be cross-trained. Number one, because we're a smaller store, but also number two, because we really want to be able to afford that flexibility to all of our management team.
Absolutely.
And when everybody in the store can deliver cars, and when everybody in the store can appraise
That's
trades,
right.
Ryan can go to Jamaica.
Hey.
He just got back.
Amen.
Jamaica.
Amen. Right. And that is a great.
Inventory to Mecca.
I trained you well.
He came back like, I trained you well. You did good,
Sensei.
young grasshopper. Right. And that is what it's about. You see the love there. You see that transferable energy. What it is that you don't just come in here and say, this is my duties, that's all I have to do. No, you come in here, I'm part of a team. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it done together. And that's huge when you have that. When you're looking for that, if you're somewhere that's not like that, but you're a leader and you're trying to do everything you can, apply. You guys see it right down there. I'm telling you, Monday.
Say it while we're on this subject. So we're talking about a lot of synergy within the sales team right now. But one of the things that is really unique about our store, one of our core values is that we value leaders who work interdepartmentally and who unify our teams. There is no team in this dealership that is more important to me than another team. Detail is just as important as the technicians, just as important as the sales reps. And as our leadership team, we're really able to work together. Ryan can probably actually talk about, being able to work with Brian and the service department. And, not every dealership is, a place where you have that much synergy, I guess.
Yeah, no, Brian and I have a great relationship. So we work together so long now where he almost really doesn't even talk to me anymore about what the car prep should be because he knows what I'm going to say.
Yep.
And then between that, just the camaraderie we have with all the techs in the back and me and the detail guys and stuff, that comes from being here for a while, knowing everybody. But it's such a close-knit group that we have.
It really is. They even designed the dealership to make sure the break room was a middle place for them to meet. So that when they break and they have lunch, they can break bread together, right? They can have conversations together. It's literally the center of the store. It's so unique. You don't see that in a lot of places. You usually see two different break rooms, right? We don't want the people and mechanics.
It's kind of like building a house.
Right.
You do it the first time and you always see those things that you would change.
Absolutely.
And for me growing up, we built our Honda store in 2006. It sits next door to our Volkswagen store. And one of the things I noticed growing up was, and even back in our old store 20 years ago, we had a body shop break room, we had a service department break room, and a sales department break room. And everybody stayed in their own, place. And it was as if, okay, like you guys stay in the back, these people stay up front. And there was this division between the front of the store and the back of the store. But I think one thing that is so cool here is, everybody really wants to see each other win.
Absolutely.
We not only ask, we demand that everyone has respect for everybody in all the different departments. That's one thing that we talk about on day one with expectations is, hey, you might be a salesperson, but that doesn't mean that you can treat the detail department any different than you would expect to be treated. So we really want to have that synergy. And also it allows us to be able to grow our team. Trent, one of our sales reps on the floor, came out of the detail department. And when you don't allow that in your dealership to where the one department is viewed as less than the other, you can really have an environment where people can feel like they can see themselves escalating into a different position. When Trent came onto the sales floor, he was welcomed with open arms because the management team loved him, the other sales reps loved him, and they had a respect for what he had done in his previous role. So it wasn't like, what are you putting the detail guy on the sales floor?
It's because he excelled back there and he probably had a chipper energy about him that stuck out, right? I'm sure that's the reason why the opportunity was afforded to him. When you do things like that in anything you do, I don't care if you believe you have the lowest job in the whole bucket, right? At the end of the day, if you keep working, you churn it up, you start to float to the top. You start to swim up, and next thing you know, you're on top floating like this, living the life.
I want to add something too, because Ashley was talking about the interdepartmental, how the building is even structured so that each team works together.
I love that.
But our processes are developed like that as well. So one thing I really enjoyed about working here was the transparency in each department. So
love it.
We have an ability to see everything that's going on with finance. So sales managers can watch the CIT. We know what's going on with the deals. We can all jump in if something's missing or paperwork or needs a form or a customer needs to be chased for a stip. It's not just, it is one person's job because she's laid that out, but anybody
to choke,
right? But
well, that's right.
But because we have the transparency is available through some of the technology that we use, everybody can see it. And if I knew that customer had a great relationship, I can jump in and make that call and get that stip and go throw it to my finance manager and be like, look, I got you taken care of. Boom. Or if something's happening in service, we can see through recon and something, pops up and we're all on a team together, because even though that's not my expertise, it's Ryan is handling the recon. If I see something or notice something and I want to bring it to his attention or to service, I have access to that same tool just as much as he does. And our sales team has access to the tools.
Absolutely.
So she allows this transparency between departments that even though we have our level of expertise, we have access, transparency, and the ability to see what the entire store has got going on. And never do you feel like you're in the dark. Never do you feel like there's never really any heat cases here because it always gets handled.
That's right.
I always there's something happens. The salesperson walks in and like, this is on fire. Everything's going on. What do I do? And I learned from Ryan because Ryan's like, listens. And he's like, no problem. And then 10 minutes later, it's all fixed. And I'm like, how did you do that? Because he already knows the solution and answers because she's put the processes in place.
Absolutely.
And it really isn't a fire. And I learned really quickly I didn't have to panic because everything was under control. This is a place that takes care of my customer, and it's a place that takes care of the employees. And when that's the case, you come to work knowing every day that there's never going to be anything that you can't handle.
We spend a lot of time talking about, financials, and as Erica wants to be a dealer someday, it's really easy to be short-sighted in this business. And, as I've been reflecting, over the last couple of weeks, knowing that, Erica was going to be moving on and, escalating and eventually becoming a dealer someday, just thinking about what the most important thing that I wanted her to take away from her time here. And I just shot her a text message yesterday and I said, I hope it's that you realize from the way that we do things here that the right thing generally is the most profitable thing as well in the long run. When you think long term,
absolutely
taking care of customers, doing things for employees, helping them create stability, and being able to do all those things. And I'm always careful when I talk about that because I don't want people to feel like that when we do things that we're being disingenuous because it's all about the dollars and cents, because it isn't where it starts. But as Erica is starting to think about more of owning a dealership in the long run, I truly believe that when you take care of the customer, Erica has probably seen some scenarios where she's like, what in the world is she paying for this for? That customer just, we had a situation where, just real quick example, a customer 300 miles on their brand new Tiguan and had a fault with the engine. The engine, blew up. These people had an autistic child. They were traveling back and forth in a situation where we could not get them back into their trade because it had already been paid off. All these other things. We ended up buying that car back from the customer. I sent them cupcakes and $1,000 as an apology. They had a hard time getting the vehicle paid off.
Never heard that before.
Credit. Erica looks at me and she's like, "What are you doing?" But I truly believe that when we do the right thing in the community, and this is something that my grandpa taught me, forever ago, we have to understand that number one, there is a true cost of acquiring a new customer in our business.
Oh yeah.
There's a true cost of acquiring a new employee to come and to train with us and to learn with us. And so we have to, it's so easy in automotive when we have 12 financial statements a year, 12 football games, whatever you want to call it, to be so short-sighted because today it's a reduction in our net income. But when we have that approach, I think it also makes it easier to retain, especially sales employees, and to be able to have a better group of people on the showroom floor. Because the reality is, guys, that there are a lot of people who, if you don't treat your customers right, you're not going to be able to retain them in these positions because they don't want to be the person who tells the customer that you're not going to take care of them. And I can tell you, in our store, we escalate everything. And that is the rule of thumb, that everything gets escalated from the sales team to the sales management team to me if there is an issue that can't be resolved, because 9 times out of 10, we can do something for that customer.
Absolutely. And that is crucial. Who would have thunk it? If you do the right thing, good things will happen to you. You'll probably make a little bit extra money. And it's not about the money at the end of the day. And I love that you said that. It just happens to be the byproduct of doing the right thing over and over and over.
I've been accused of being a bleeding heart before.
Oh, my goodness.
Ashley, you're just always like, why would you do that? You go to NADA Academy, there's this rule that you need a 5 times return on investment for every dollar that you spend. It needs to happen within X number of days. But like I've spent a lot of time talking to Erica about this over the last year. Whenever you think like that, you get into this linear pattern where you make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to be in a role as a general manager with ownership who truly lets me have autonomy in running the store, who I don't have to run by when we're going to have a customer that's just outside of their warranty period and something went wrong with the transmission. And we take care of it.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
And it also takes heat off of the management team so that they can get back to doing what they're doing, because who wants to deal with a customer who's threatening to sue you and back and forth? Even if we know we're right, number one, we're not retaining that customer relationship. What does that do to the internal morale of the team?
Oh God. Anytime you throw a little bit of negative, it really kills the scene. Like, positivity is such a massive thing. Your attitude determines your altitude so much. And that includes little things like that. Our staff sees that we don't care about our customers. What do you think they're going to do every time they get a phone call with a complaint? They're going to act the same way. Instead, if we treat everyone with love, respect, and we try to do our best to give them an option to help them, then they're going to do the same thing. Because the fish rots from the head down 100% of the time. And as long as that fish is fresh and that head is right, then the rest of the fish is going to be good for a long time. And that's what we really want here. That's the kind of culture that we have here. And that's the kind of culture that Erica wants to see keep blossoming. So please, my friends, if you're out there and you know that you're ready to make a change, you're ready to come somewhere and grow, this website right there, right below me, thebestdealership toworkfor.com. Go there and check it out. It's not just for that position. You guys are always looking to recruit for other positions too, sales, whatever. I mean, they look for, service techs all the time because those are hard to come by too. Good ones. Look into that. Look into this culture. Look into this team because it's a team. It's a family. And man, this place is fantastic. This has been a great show. I want to touch a couple more things before we get out of here because there is some stuff that we want to do, but I do want to talk about you. I know that we got off that subject. We did. We got off that subject. And, I want to go back to that again because just for a moment, because you're awesome, and I think that everyone in this room believes that. And everyone's going to, a little piece of their heart's broken that you're leaving. But at the same time, it's just like when I just dropped my son off at college and I had tears, but not because I was mad or so sad that it was just the fact that it's a different step in life. I'm seeing my son grow. I'm seeing him take another level and I'm not going to be there. Now he can make decisions that I'm not part of, and it's just so weird that that's happening, but yet it's so amazing, and I'm not trying to compare you to a child, but what I'm comparing you to is people who love people and they love you. This whole staff does. I mean, everyone, I get to train Jay, and I absolutely love Jay Wright. If he was in this room, I know right now, he'd probably be the most emotional guy.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no doubt, right? Because he definitely wears his emotions on his sleeves, massive. That's
right,
just so you know, Jay, that's the only reason, bro. You know the deal. You'll be on the show plenty, but we had you in here, so it'll be a mess. But he loves you. We all love you. There's not a person on this floor that does not love you. That you have poured into each one of those people so much. And what you're going to do for the next staff is going to be phenomenal too. Just always remember the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And we all fit inside that room. And as long as you remember that, you'll be a great leader. You have every trait that's there for it. So we're looking forward to watching you grow, looking forward to seeing where you're going to go and all the places that you're going to be. And the first dealership that you own, right? I can't wait for that.
I told Erica before she ever joined our team that I would be at her ribbon cutting for when she
oh, I will be too, like with the microphone, so. Like, let's go, right? And that's going to happen. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be at the right time, at the right place, hopefully a little bit further south where it's warmer.
Yeah.
Just saying, but you are going to be going to a colder place. She's moving up to a little bit further north. Yeah, Minnesota, but for a great group, great people up there, great opportunities for you. And I know that you know that, and we all are cheering you on. I know that Ashley's cheering you on. She did the moment she told me about it. She was just excited for you, sad in her heart because she knows there's going to be a lot of changes, but also because she loved you so much. She took you as family here, and I know you know that. I know you know that. And that probably was the hardest thing for you to be able to tell. I had to tell my best friend when I left my last position, it was my best friend for 20 years. And I had to tell him, hey, I got 2 weeks for you. Right. Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough. And then, of course, that staff, I was there 8.5 years. It was so hard. And I love them. I still go see them all the time. And you're going to do the same. And I know that. And I honor that. I know that.
And I know Erica has had an impact on every one of us in some
Absolutely.
way, whether it is the detail department, the office staff. I mean, everybody's coming up to me like, oh, this is what I'm going to miss about Erica being here. And it's just such positive stories. But not only what she's done for our team internally, but I just want to take a minute and
please.
Give her accolades on what she's been able to do for our industry, bringing diversity to the industry.
Amen.
We first bonded on the women in automotive thing. I told her, I'm like, I may not understand everything, but with that being said, I know what it's like to be the only person in the room who looks like you. And that is something that's difficult for some people to understand.
Very much so.
We were really able to bond on that. And
awesome.
I'll never forget in one of our first calls, I think you told me that, and I still have it on a Post-it note on my desk at home, that there's only 6 Black women who own dealerships in the United States. And I mean, keep in mind that there's, I think, 19,000 new car franchises.
Whole lot.
So for her to have that goal she told me early on, my goal is to be number 7. So we're excited to see her on that journey. We're so thankful for everything she's done at the store and on our industry level of being able to move it forward. I know she's going to be a valued member of her team at the next.
Oh, there's no doubt.
We're glad that she made it to the Midwest because she would never, Erica.
You had to come here to get the cold
Erica
in you.
didn't want to move here because of the snow. So I just want to
build up her clothing gear for the cold weather.
Her new employer know that had she not made the transition to Southern Illinois,
That's right.
She never would have made the transition to
Minnesota. That's so true.
And I know she's going to kill us because she specifically told me that I could not do this, Fred. But we have a little parting gift for you. We do.
This is a little something. It's bust it out real quick while we're on camera. Let's do this.
I didn't know anything.
But
No, I couldn't tell anybody because I was afraid they were going to tell you and that you wouldn't come here today.
Yeah, you know, I could tell you, I've been able to witness these two ladies and their relationship. I've seen the familyness between them. I've seen just how much they love each other, and I know it's going to be difficult for both you two because you guys have been part of each other's life like really tight for a while. And you know, I'm sorry to see you go, but I'm happy to see where you're going. All right, I'm happy to see the places, and I know it's not the last stop, but it's definitely going to be a great stop. They're very lucky to have you. I know that Ashley was very happy and lucky to have you also. Ryan, you're phenomenal, and I know he's going to miss you too. There's no doubt. And like he said, it's going to be hard to replace, and it's going to be a tough person to replace, right? So understand
Who's up for the challenge?
who's up for the challenge, you know. But the biggest thing is that you just come in here. You don't have to be Erica. You just need to be the best version of you. And if you're good at what you do and you love what you do, this is the right place. But you're phenomenal. Congratulations to everything. And check it out. Let's see what that is.
Yeah, we have to.
Too small to be tire chains.
Yeah. That would have been a good one too.
Oh my goodness, it looks warm.
But it's basically that. Listen.
Let's go.
That's right. Let's go. Booyah.
It's backwards. So anyway.
I know you're gonna get used to it. Look at her. That is so awesome. Oh wow, that's really, really
For
awesome.
the Minnesota winners, I've told her that when she has to do her first snow law party, we're going to be sending her pictures.
That's funny.
Yeah, when you actually still have to go to work, even though it snowed, and school's still open, it's crazy. It's a different place, but no, but
There is one more thing in there.
Oh gosh. Oh boy.
pretty awesome. Oh.
Glass ceiling, an unofficially acknowledged barrier and advancement in a profession, especially affecting women and members of minorities. Oh, it is a piece.
Because you're breaking that
Broken
glass
glass.
ceiling.
Shattered glass ceiling paperweight. Oh, it's so beautiful.
It is. That is beautiful. Wow. Well, wow. That's awesome.
Right, this is beautiful.
That is beautiful. And that's something you could always remember and be honored by. Once again, we do appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I don't even work here. I just get to come be part and meet you and be a friend of yours. And to be a friend of yours is a big deal to me. And I'm so glad that I've been able to get to know you more and more and being here. And thank you for having me come here every month, because I had chances to get to speak with her and Ryan and your whole staff. Best place to work in the world, folks. Come here and check best place to work for, best dealership to work for. Come check it out.
Oh my goodness.
We also have somebody special here right now.
Unexpected appearance.
We have the general snack manager. There she is. She's beautiful. Well, you all, what a great show this was today. What a great place this is. Make sure that you check it out on Monday, www.thebestdealership2workfor.com. Go check it out. Like I said, they're always looking for great people to work here, whether you're being a sales manager, whether you're going to be a service tech, or even if you just want to clean vehicles. If you want to be good at it, come here. This is the place. Anything last things you want to say before we get out of here?
Man,
Without crying?
I think we've covered it all.
I think we did too. Ryan, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I mean, obviously I'm going to miss Erica, and it's definitely put some weight back on my shoulders. That's nothing I haven't done before.
I think he's pushed up a lot of weight on those shoulders. I mean, I think you see them right there. I think you can handle these Atlas, right? So,
Yeah.
But no, it was great. I appreciate you all, folks. Once again, www.thebestdealership2workfor.com. Go there real fast, because that job, it's not going to be filled up quick, but there's going to be a lot of people applying. So be one of the first ones, because that's kind of how it works. Early bird gets the worm. So get after it. So folks, we'll see you later. I'm Fred, the Subprime Hero in Arts. This is Ashley Church, Ryan Dare, and of course, Joy. She's here. And with our good friend and soon to be general manager, Erica Wells. We love you, girl. Congratulations. We'll see you soon. Y'all be blessed. Peace.
Peace.